Hello, everyone. What is shaking YouTube? Good to see you. Good to be back. Sir Lloyd Roger Spencer III, good to see you, friend, as well. All right, the big return. We got some problems. We got problems. Um, Not much happening news-wise right now. We got, I guess, the biggest story is El Salvador added another 5 Bitcoin to its national crypto reserve. So that'll really push things. Yoo-hoo, 5, all 5 of them. Also, the Bybit hack saga kind of continues a little bit. They're complaining that 25% basically has already been washed and laundered. And Bybit is anxiously hoping that somebody saves them, but I think that's a done deal. Serves you right, Ben, for not following protocols fully, but too bad, because I love Bitcoin. That's generally where I trade. That's pretty much everywhere I trade for crypto. But yeah, let's talk about these problems then. We have got some, some things that we need to overcome here. And they're not going to be overly simplified, I don't think, but let's take a peek here at the 4-hour chart. So we had the big pump on Sunday where, then you get pretty strange tweets, especially from Eric Trump talking about, how the markets are, no longer just Monday to Friday and retail wins, and then this happens, which is so typical. Any of these news sort of, I wouldn't even say news, more like tweet pumps, or, I think the Donald pump is the same thing. These always get recovered really quickly. Big pumps, big dumps. In the VIP in the Discord, I was talking about ADA constantly yesterday, looking for the big short on ADA, looking for the big short since ADA had pumped, 60%, and that came to fruition. So great Monday so far. Tuesday not looking bad as well, but so we got a lot of resistance now just above us, yeah. So that's not good news. The other bad news here is if we look on the daily chart, I mean, this wick is just screaming to get taken up here. So personally, I would be looking at around the 0.5 here for the first hit. Maybe recovered this angle into here around 80,900, so around the 81K mark. Other than that, we have a naked point of control with a high volume node just below us here in that wick. So that would be Friday's naked point of control. That's going to be calling as well. And then on the higher time frames, we have a order block right down here in between 75,700 and 76,900, so around 77K. Very good looking little zone there. Not much supporting that except for the order block, but it's a very interesting zone for me, I think. And then the big one is going to be down here, this 71 to 69-ish zone. All right, we're top heavy with the extension. The 1618 extension is just above us. This whole zone here is that golden pocket. And then if we look back, you've got that big old daily time frame, fair value gap. And also on the 4-hour chart, you've got a pretty decent fair value gap here, all right? So order block right below it as well. And those would be the magnets that I would be considering to be slightly problematic for Bitcoin, considering we do have all of this resistance above us now that we're creating, right? Take a quick peek here at our 4-hour support and resistance zones, which will actually make this naked point of control a little more interesting as well here from Friday, because we do have this old support and resistance here that did get swept and then pushed back up. So very interesting zone there as well for me. Yeah, now having said that, do we need to go down? No, not really. We've recouped all of this craziness from Sunday, and we're now trading below Friday's close, which is also not a great look, but we have taken back the CME gap from Friday, right? So as far as that's concerned, it's sort of business as usual to the upside. However, we do still have this big fair value gap here to take care of. Also, this high volume node, sorry, and naked point of control also coincides with now this nice pivot zone here, okay? So is it an order block? Technically it is. We did break this zone here, but I don't really like it as an order block, but whatever. Order block, pivot, it's all in this zone here. So very interesting. Now, what I'm really going to be focusing on for the next, I'll leave that up and let's talk about that. Is going to be how we trade these previous day levels. All right. So once again, we're trading below the Friday close. We've taken out the previous day's low and we're now trading below that. So not great. Doesn't look great. But if we can get back above the previous day's low and challenge the previous day's close and get above it, this is going to be a big zone here. And that's what I'm really interested to see, if we can get back in here today and maybe close this day green and then see if we can make a push for Monday's highs on Wednesday or Thursday. And if we can get back up here, I think we'll be all right in terms of the upside. So if you're still holding longs, that's going to be your hope. I would say get up above that sort of 94-ish zone. That would be great. And that would be a great sign of strength for the rest of the week if we can get up there relatively quick, meaning Wednesday or Thursday. All right. But that is really going to be the big bad boy for me. So today, so far, we've got our low. If tomorrow, by any chance, we sweep the low of today, which has, you know, not really been put in potentially, then it's not looking good. All right, that's how I see it. So I'm really going to be focusing on previous day's levels, kind of trading this day to day, not really thinking about any swing trades unless price does barrel on down into this low here. That's where I'll be looking to really get in for any potential swings. Now, these zones here, I will be looking to take advantage of those on sort of day trade, maybe hold a couple days sort of thing. But that would be about it. As far as the shorts are concerned, we still have quite a long ways to go up towards any sort of swing trade that I would be looking for. Let's take a quick peek here. We rejected off of that 0.5. All right, now this golden pocket is just going to be delicious. All right, look at that. Let me once again open up the support resistance zones here. All right. Very nice support and resistance zone that held, has been flipped and dumped, and now our golden pocket is there. So as long as we don't take out this low, that is going to be a very interesting zone for me. It's going to be pretty tough to get over that, I imagine. But that's that same zone again that we just kept rejecting off of, right? Holy 19, knock for Marius. Thank you, sir. Game over. It is game over for the Bitcoin, says Marius. But yeah, this is a pretty wild zone here, I would have to say. It's going to be tough to get over this. It's been tough. All right, now, sometimes this is the brutal reality of trading. When you see these sort of things, right, this is very interesting, but this is also a very dangerous zone. If we're going to get a short squeeze come out here, so let's say we rope-a-dope some more guys in to the downside, maybe reverse here when everybody's looking to sweep this low. It looks like it wants to be swept. And if price comes back up, everybody's going to be looking to short this, right? It's a pretty obvious zone. It's that crazy 98,000, 99,000 zone that we've just been unable to breach. Now, if we come back up here, everybody's going to be looking to short that, and that would be a perfect place to continue a disgusting, maniacal short squeeze and push to the upside. Not to get too far ahead of myself here. I wouldn't think we'd be going for that high right away. We're going to be pushing back up and then reasserting ourselves back into this old range here. That's the way I see that playing out. All right. So really that's it. The other big problem we have right now, all right, NVIDIA. Now NVIDIA's looking all right. Well, I shouldn't say all right, but it was looking better a little while ago. In the pre-market, it's already been trading down at around 108. So that's, you know, that's not good. There's interest down there. There is interest down there. So be very careful. Keep an eye on NVIDIA, how it opens up today, what it's going to do. We're right at the support zone. Okay. If we lose this, it's going to start looking like the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's also looking pretty nasty. If we look at the NQ1 here, we're looking at the futures. NVIDIA. Yes. Be careful with that NVIDIA. So the futures is looking exactly like the NDQ. So we've got this massive M formation here, and we've now broken this apex. So this, if it gets steam towards the downside, we could be putting in at least another drop, maybe 2 to the downside, and get this big correction that everybody's been waiting for the last year and a half, 2 years, to finally take form. And if NVIDIA does break this, it's going to be more of that sort of narrative, right? So keep an eye on NVIDIA. It is not looking great right now. But again, when it's not looking great, that's some of the best opportunities you'll get, right? And we are sitting on this support level here. So as long as NVIDIA doesn't break below this and close below, you know, sort of this level here, it's going to be all right, I would say, looking at something like this. But if we dump below here and close, that's not a good look, man. That is not a good look. And NVIDIA will drag everything down with it. That's really just the way it goes. As far as alts are concerned, just a bloodbath. Everything is looking horrible now. Alch, look at that, up 4.8%, not bad. But yeah, everything looks horrible. I'm still very interested in ADA today. Okay, so let me get rid of this stuff. ADA is really what I've been trading today. Just a great day for ADA. Pretty nice range. Really been respecting indicators. Very good respective price action. If you just look at what's going on here, every time you get these big wicks, then an engulfing, it just goes. Big wick pushes down, it goes. So that's basically all I've been doing so far today, is taking advantage of ADA. Look for those engulfing candles. They seem to pay off like mad today. And again, we're now busting into this zone here. So let's see if ADA can start to recoup. All right. Good news. I'm going to go back to this crazy pump story. I don't think I've said this yet, but I will say it. I know I talked about this in the VIP section in the Discord, but when we get these historical sort of Twitter / you know, now it's Trump saying stuff, and then we get these crazy pumps. Yes, it does get recovered really quickly. You'll see that historically with, you know, whether it be ETF releases or Elon Musk saying he's going to sell Teslas for Bitcoin. You'll get these massive moves, then they'll get recovered very quickly. But the original move is generally the way that the market's going to go. Now, this is a horribly infantile way of looking at the market. It's very, you know, Maxi-esque. But historically, that is generally what happens, right? So if we can start to get some momentum to the upside here, it could really go. And that would mean that ADA would be pumped or primed for another huge move back up. All right. Now, the interesting part about ADA is that it really hasn't come down and taken that Sunday low yet. So this could be where retail does actually win. But we got to start pushing back above these nasty support and resistance zones here. So let's see if ADA can do that. Not convinced yet, but I will be looking to take advantage of ADA down here. What's going on, Mr. Unknown? Good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well. Yeah, I would definitely be very interested in a potential swing trade down here. But as far as the day goes, it's just scalp mania and really just price action, basic EMAs, basic support resistance and range trading. So you can see since I pretty much started trading around 7:30 this morning, and you can see that it was just putting in these nice lows, nice highs, big wicks, you know, starts expanding the range. So that's a good sign. And if you can get in on the right side of it and look at that dump coming down. What's going on, Oddbjorner? Good to see you, buddy. Very nice move back down here. So there's again, you know, you get your sort of indecision doji up here, then you get your engulfing, hop in. That's a quick 5%. It's yeah, there you go, 0.59%. I mean, it's just been doing it all day. Quite lovely, Ada. Thank you, my dear. Looking at the NASDAQ on the 1 minute chart here, we'll look back up in a second. It's really just kind of range bound, and I'm afraid that they're going to be really waiting to see what Nvidia does off the open here. You know, it's not looking overly enthusiastic here, but you know, we're down 7 points right now. We've already traded 3¼ hours of London. It's not really moving that much. So, you know, is New York going to come in like a bat out of hell again today? I think that's a big possibility. All right, big possibility. Again, the ES mini is also down 8 points. That's a little bit more substantial than the NASDAQ. And the Dixie looking pretty flat there. It is, you know, 2.28% down, but let's hope it gives us a nice dump so that things can start to catch some momentum to the upside. So again, yeah, keep an eye on that Nvidia. It is going to be, I believe, the catalyst here, especially for the indexes, but I think it'll drag Bitcoin down with it as well. New York session, like what? Huh? What do you mean, Mr. Unknown? The New York session, like what? Well, I would imagine if New York dumps, especially Nvidia, I think we're all going to be looking for them shorts again, man. And then there's going to be those outliers in the crypto world that are going to pump. So if you're looking to just trade crypto, look for those guys that start to trade against the trend. If you're looking for longs only, and yeah, get the heck in there. In the VIP section, we'll continue to look at ADA. I'll do some live trading in there, and I will try my best to really talk through the process. It's kind of tough when you're trading and talking. It's not the best thing to do, right? But got to kind of focus. All right. Yeah. And then we've got, let's take a peek here at our poor Ethereum here. Poor ETH. Not looking good for ETH. I mean, you know, besides the hack, I think ETH is just in trouble. I think pretty soon, if Bitcoin can get its act together and they can get this Lightning Network going, I think ETH is pretty much kind of had it, man. I could be wrong. Yes, Sir Lloyd, Roger Spencer, VIP is where the magic happens. We've got clowns, we've got magicians. Any ETH holder here? Uh-oh, Mr. Unknown. Don't tease him, Mr. Unknown. Just tell him the green candle is coming. Hot green candle coming. I mean, look at that. It's just, you know, that's a very nice reaction here so far, but I don't know, man. ETH does not look good. So yeah, I hope you guys are being safe somehow. Yes, lots of Vikings as well. Magicians, clowns, comedians, and Vikings. It's a pretty eclectic mix. So you really want to be careful who you insult in there. ETH going to moon 15K soon. Yeah, that's it. Oh, verbal diarrhea. Yeah, I don't know who we're talking about now. I talk a lot, that's for sure, but I generally make sense. Okay, anyways, that it's just a quick update here. All right. That's the way I see it today. Mongo is saying ETH will be going to 15K. Yeah, man, I don't know about that. Much love to Mongo, but 15K. 15K. Man, that's a tough one. It's really a tough one because ETH is now, like, I mean, what I would say about ETH is that it was looking like ETH was going to be what we were all going to use to make payments. When's the last time I used ETH to transfer anything? It was years ago. It's so bloody expensive. And the more expensive it gets, the more expensive fees get. So it doesn't make any sense to me, man. It really doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it really doesn't, man, because it's not outperforming anything. I know that everybody says ETH is like the silver, Bitcoin's like the gold, but man, I don't know. Bitcoin PA. That's, yeah, I've already gone over the Bitcoin PA. I think we really got to get over this Friday's close. That's the first thing. Not looking good right now. It's rejecting off of Friday's close. So that's what we have to take. It is consolidating here, so that's a pretty decent sign. Yeah, that's what I would say too, Sir Lloyd or Roger Spencer III. ETH is yesterday's coin. It really is. It doesn't have much value in terms of use, and if it doesn't, then why would you buy ETH? Just stick to Bitcoin, So yeah, that's really where I would say Bitcoin is at right now. We really got to get over this hump. It is good to see it consolidating here, but yeah, we got to break this Friday's close, take it aggressively, and then go up and challenge yesterday's low, and see if we can take that. So pretty bad sign that we're trading below previous day's low. So the best I could hope for is to close off the day somewhere above the previous day's close. That would really be it, unless some crazy stuff happens today. I think I've never seen Mongo bearish, says Marius. He's a bullish little fella. Well, he's not a little fella. He's a bit of an animal, but yeah. Yeah, it's hard to be bearish when you're sort of in this season. I understand that. And I'm not bearish right now. I wouldn't say that. But there's certain coins that you just kind of lose all faith in. And ETH for me is one of those. I'd rather trade meme coins than ETH right now. That's really it. Yeah, an NFT mania. Thank God that died pretty much last cycle. I think NFTs pretty much died. And that was the most toxic thing I've ever seen. Can't believe people were paying millions of dollars for JPEGs. It's just psychotic, man. It is psychotic. After this season, I will never keep alt in wallets, says Mr. Unknown. Well, I think hodling is the weird thing about hodling is that it's all about timing, right? So that's the problem. A lot of people start hodling after some coins have already moved 50%, and that's not when you want to start hodling. You want to start hodling when they've dumped 70%, 80%. Then you start buying and just endure the boring time and then go. When it's time to go, and then make sure you pay yourself, right? That's another big thing about hodling is a lot of people refuse to pay themselves because they start buying into these narratives of 15K ETH. 15K ETH, that's a bit of a problem, I think, man. A bit of a problem. Like, look at if we surmise that the bull run is over, yeah. Bitcoin didn't even 10x this year from the low, so and that's great. That's already great, but it did just miss 10xing 10K. Bull run over, asked William Tran. I wouldn't say the bull run's over just yet. It's a very strange bull run if it is over. Volume has been horrible. But that happens when, there was a lot of interest from sort of retail non-educated investors last year. They got in at horrible times. A lot of people lost a lot of money, and the problem with crypto is these constant liquidations. Like in the last 24 hours, we've had over what is it, a billion in liquidations. So people don't really enjoy investing their money in things that they hear. Last week there was $1 billion worth of liquidations. um would you say that the market is manipulation only at the moment? uh I'm not a big fan of manipulation. Like, the markets, this is the way markets move, right? So um if you were holding along, this is a great place to take profit off it, right? And then once we break below this range, like this is me right here getting out of my BTC long positions, and looking for price to come down a little bit lower and looking to start building it up again, right? So I mean, I think that that whole manipulation thing is sort of the same as if Bitcoin goes from 15,000 to 110,000. Is that manipulation only? It's just the way things move, especially in the crypto world, right? Goes up crazy and then it goes down crazy. But I wouldn't think that the bull market is over. This is a great zone for me. Honestly, come back and retest this range high that we broke out of, and we never came back and retested it. And if this can hold, that's fantastic. Or if we can, from where we are now, get back above again that 92ish to 94ish sort of range, and hold there and start to create some more history there and some more support and resistance, I think that would be great. One of the big problems of where we are right now is that there's very little here to really prop us up, right? It's just up and fair value gaps. So there is a lot of things that we want to come back down here and clean up, right? I see your point. Would you say that due to the things that is happening in the world that we can get a total financial collapse? Oh yeah, that's a definite possibility. That's a definite possibility. Um, yeah, and it's not only things that are happening in the world right now. I think if you look at the financial reality of, let's say, the US dollar, for example, since the creation of the Federal Reserve, the US dollar has lost over 90% of its value. So that's pretty damning. That's a pretty damning critique on fiat currencies in general. Um, yeah, I mean, as long as wages are increasing, that's all right. But they're, I don't know, man. I don't know. And to see the way people are really entrenched in needing to expand certain ideologies and not others. And it's very tricky to get into these conversations because a lot of people don't really want to talk about it. Like, I think supporting certain wars are a horrible idea. I think, well, most wars, I would say, pretty much all wars, supporting war is a horrible idea. And then if you translate that into world powers, like let's say the tension that's brewing apparently from Donald Trump and creating a trade war, I think that's pretty naive to look at. If you look at the rhetoric that Joe Biden used, and the Democrats, let's say if we're talking about American politics, they constantly call China an enemy, and they talk bad about China. Trump doesn't really talk bad about China. He just says, we got to even out this trade deficit. We got to even out tariffs, that sort of stuff, right? Now, is that going to bring financial tension? Yeah, but there's no way that America could go to war with China, right? This is the reality is any nuclear power now is pretty much off limits for war. So the only thing you can do is engage in economic warfare with them, which is a horrible thing for the people, right? Whether that be China, you start putting sanctions on this country or that country, you're just devastating the people. You're not really crippling the leaders. You're devastating the people in order to get them to revolt and to depose regimes that you don't like, right? So I don't know, man. It's a horrible situation. That's what I would say. But yeah, be smart, man. Put your money in things that are going to create value. I, for myself, live on a relatively large property um, in the middle of the country. You know, I grow fruits, I grow vegetables. I think I'm going to maybe build a chicken coop this year. And not like I'm not a crazy prepper. Don't take it that way. But, you know, I enjoy it first and foremost. And secondly, every time I go shopping, it's like crazy, man. It's insane, the inflation. And these guys are trying to pretend inflation is under control. But I'm telling you, in the last 2 weeks, like garlic is twice the price. And I love me some garlic, right? So, yep, I've got garlic in the ground, onions, potatoes, sunflower seeds. I've got a bunch of fruit trees. And I think I'm gonna make a chicken coop this year, man. So I'm not telling you to do that. That's not. I'm not saying. I'm not. Yeah, I grow my own mushrooms, baby. Hell yeah. Nah, it's real hard to grow mushrooms here, man. It gets really dry. So it's very, very difficult to grow mushrooms where I live. In the winter, it's very wet, but it's cold, so the mushrooms don't grow. And then in the summertime, it's super dry, so really difficult to grow mushrooms here. I would love to though. I used to grow them in Canada, but not magic mushrooms, normal shiitakes for the most part. So yeah, I live in Portugal. That's where I live. Yeah, you can buy some organic chickens, but just don't come to my house, Mr. Unknown. I'll throw eggs at you. In Portugal, yeah, you can grow a lot of stuff. You can grow definitely a lot of stuff, William Tran. The weather's pretty good. Like you can grow all year. So in the wintertime, it's sort of like kale, lettuce, these sorts of things. Uh-oh. Hold on a second here. That's the old crypto Viking. Yeah, so it's you can grow winter crops here, flaxseed, that sort of stuff, and yeah, in the summertime, it's your typical summer stuff: figs, loquats, oranges, lemons, limes, pomegranates, that sort of stuff. Is it expensive to buy a farm like yours? I don't have a farm. It's I have, you know, like enough land, but it's not a farm. It's not a huge farm or anything like that. But no, it depends where you're looking, William Tran. You can get very cheap farms in Portugal. If you go to the interior, like you can get them for a song. But the problem with the interior is sort of infrastructure. Like healthcare is a little bit on the dodgy side, things like that. So I live pretty close to Lisbon. I live in between Lisbon and a town called a city called Santarém. So there's lots of amenities around where I am. So that for me is also pretty important. You know, I don't want to live in the middle of nowhere in case I have to call an ambulance when I cut a toe off building a chicken coop or something. Yeah. So that's you know, good farm talk, guys. Thanks. But that's pretty much where we're headed right now, or what we're looking at. You know, really just want to see this get above this Friday days closed. And VIP section, we will be doing New York Open BTC update. No, I already did the BTC update, man. You can watch the beginning of the video, Mr. Unknown. I ain't gonna do it again. Or go into the Discord. I'll be in there in a minute and I'll post the stuff up. But yeah, be safe, man. Be wise. Remember, when everybody's really crapping their pants, that's when you're looking for the longs. And remember when everybody was really thinking, oh, 94, 115K coming. No, that's when we short. All right. Sell high, buy low. That is the key, my friends. What's my thoughts on FOMC? Let me see what you're talking about here. Are you talking about like today FOMC member Williams speaking, or what's my thoughts in general on the Fed and what they're going to do with interest rates? Not really sure what you mean by that. Read the whole comment. Oh, hold on a second. Expensive by a farm. Nice farm. Have be nice. What whole comment? No FOMC meeting, like cut, etc. Oh yeah. You know, I think with the unemployment kicking in, and we got CPI coming soon, so I think as long as unemployment keeps rising and we've got pretty decent CPI data, which is horrible, but I think then yeah, they will likely cut it relatively soon, especially if the economy starts to tank, right? Yeah, and that's it. That is it. Yeah. All right, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and we will talk soon. Take care, man. Be safe and be well. Oh, hold on a second. What about QE? Will it come this year? I hope not. I really hope they don't. Yeah, I really hope they don't. That would be devastating, I think, for inflation. You know, the more the Fed just kind of chills out, lets things happen organically, the better off we'll be. All right, guys, much love. Oh, hit the like button if you please, and yeah, join our Discord if you're interested. If not, no worries, man. Peace out. Have a great one. Ciao, ciao.